Did you really think you're going to get rid of me that easy? I retained my predictions championship and will continue to give you guys the best NXT and NXT UK review. So I am White Peppa, and man, we have another few months of me giving the review to you guys, which I love doing, all part of our KBW podcasting network. So as you can see, I have retained. So Charlotte Flair, and then they have tea time, coffee time. Tastes like victory. NXT TakeOver was absolutely amazing, hands down. There's nothing you can say about it that would change my mind. It was a great show, period, end of sentence. So, of course, everybody knows after a takeover is usually just the next NXT afterwards is basically just a rundown of takeover, and then you have a couple matches just to kind of keep it going, because that's where they're doing the tapings. They were still doing the tapings live from Connecticut. Was it Bridgeport? From Bridgeport, Connecticut. So they went over everything. Obviously the biggest thing is the very short reign of Johnny Gargano as NXT Championship, and Adam Cole, Bebe, is your new NXT Champion. I'm not at all sad about that. I like me some Adam Cole. So, and that NXT TakeOver 25 was easily another classic. The ladder match was good. There really wasn't many holes in it, as always. And again, guys, I think that's why I love this belt so much, and I keep retaining it. It's because I love this brand. You know, like, I haven't been able to win the main roster title back in 5 hours of just blowing. It blows my mind for 5 hours with the main roster. But Triple H and Shawn Michaels and now Road Dogg, they really know how to put together a good wrestling show. I feel like this is AEW's actual competition. It's not the main roster as much as it is. It's sad. The main roster has the most talent I've ever seen. They just don't know how to use the amazing talent they have. Leaving them in the back for guys like Shane McMahon and all that. But NXT is the brand in WWE, whether Vince will ever admit it or not. Just a couple like little, not like news, but a couple things, I guess. Tyler Breeze going back to NXT and it not being a one-off, so he's going to be there. He said he's going to be in NXT for a while. He's back. Like, he's not. It wasn't just let me try to get a shot at Velveteen and go back to catering. So he's back in NXT. I'm wondering if this is going to start some sort of a trend for some of the guys who came up, never really got any kind of push, and then come back down to NXT, reignite the fire down on these guys' names. You know, like Tyler Breeze starts having a lot more classic matches and has that, and they push him the way they did when he was in NXT, when Prince Pretty was, you know, as he was in NXT OG. But maybe like he'll be back to where he was, and if that's the case, maybe then you do get, you know, you can push him back up and when Triple H takes over the main roster. But I hope that means for someone like Ember Rose, oh God, who the hell is Ember Rose? Sounds like a porn star. Ember Moon, right? Like, they are not using her at all, and that is a talented female. Instead, we have the same rinse and repeat up on the main roster instead of giving anyone else a chance. So I would think like an Ember Moon. Already Ricochet and Aleister Black. Aleister Black is just yelling at people in the room, asking for someone to beat him up. Ricochet is in a best of 92 with Cesaro. As much as I like seeing them wrestle, they put on great matches, but it's not doing anything for either of them. It just makes it look like, oh, some good matches, but there's no storyline, there's no push. It's just like they did with Cesaro and Sheamus until they became a team. Remember, it was like a best of 11. It was really the most annoying thing on TV because I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it again. So that's really all. That's a little bit of news and notes there, but let's get to NXT because it was not much, as I said. Literally 2 matches. So Keith Lee starts it out against Kona Reeves. I believe Kona Reeves is somewhere along the line related to The Rock. He looks like The Rock with long hair if The Rock lived in Hawaii his entire life. Keith Lee gets the win as everybody basks in his glory. Again, with that cool modified power slam looking thing. He gets the win pretty easily on Kona Reeves. Kona Reeves has a couple good moments in this match, but at the end of the day, he hit him almost with like a shoulder tackle, and Kona Reeves lifted up, and then his soul went over there. So his soul lifted, and it jumped into the NXT universe, while his body was still in midair, just kind of doing that. Then everything came back together. He hit the ground. My man comes right back up, and then he gets him with the Supernova, and that was the end for young Kona. Weird stuff in between. So they announced some matches for next week. We're going to have Drew Gulak and Kushida in a submissions only match. That's going to be a cool match to go with. Oni Lorcan is going to be Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. They're going to get a tag team match against the Undisputed Era, but Bobby Fish, who I swear to God this man has no luck, is hurt again. He hurt his shoulder at TakeOver. So it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Era in a tag match against Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan next week. So that's it. That's exciting. That's exciting. And then the only other thing of note this week was we had one more match. The main event of NXT this week was Mia Yim and Bianca Belair. Another good match between these two. This was the rubber match of the. They both won one. I was shocked at this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that the push for EST, Bianca Belair was gonna be like is heavy, and that even though Mia Yim puts up a good fight, Mia Yim would not be the one to advance in this feud. But Mia Yim gets the win with like a top rope code breaker kind of thing, but it was only with a single knee code breaker kind of move. After a very good, long, hard-fought match between the two, as they always do, they put on a great show. So Mia Yim comes out on top clean against Bianca Belair. A lot of people look like they were equally shocked. Yeah, so she spun off the turnbuckle with a variation of the protect your neck, but it was a very, it's a high-end protect your neck. So, yeah, and so she's building her case for an NXT title contention, and we'll see. I'd be okay with Mia Yim again. I think Mia Yim had one chance at Shayna. This whole thing was about that Bianca Belair's had multiple attempts and couldn't do it, and I believe Mia Yim only had one chance at Shayna Baszler. So maybe it's about her going to get some rematch. It depends, because Io Shirai still has a kendo stick somewhere, and I think she's about to put more welts on Shayna somewhere. So that was really all for NXT. Nothing crazy going on. Post takeover they kind of even out everything. The week after, and then next week we'll start to get back to a full show, I believe. So that is all I have for NXT this week. Join me in just a little bit, and we will go over NXT UK, which I believe is a full lineup. So we'll have a little bit more to talk about that. Not to mention that NXT UK is the next takeover event. That's August 31st, which is a very big day in wrestling. So that's going to be exciting. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Welcome back. This is your NXT UK review. There was a lot that went into this one tonight, opposed to NXT America, where it was a lot of stuff about TakeOver. NXT UK was really starting their push towards the TakeOver in Cardiff on August 31st, which is a very big day in wrestling. Because I know that August 31st is going to be NXT TakeOver Cardiff. It's also going to be All Out. AEW's All Out. I'm going to be in trouble because all of my titles are going to be on the line on the same day. So I could lose everything. I could win everything. I believe New Japan has something as well on that day. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe they do. So, guys, until August 31st, we're going to study. We're going to be the best we can be. And we're going to keep this around my waist so I can keep giving you guys the best of the best of the best, sir. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, I'm on the damn WWE site, and all they want me to do is watch this friggin' Super Showdown at 2 o'clock. What am I going to do? Shit on my lunch break? Gotta work. Goldberg staring me in the face. So, NXT UK starts off with The Hunt versus Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley. Okay. Now, we know The Hunt is getting the push. The Hunt is scary. I don't know which one, whether it's the Predator or the Prowler, or what are we calling, what's the one of them? They're scary people. Can we be real? Wild Boar and Primate, okay? I believe Primate is the one who looks like the Penguin. He's awkward, just awkward in general. So they beat them pretty soundly, but then afterwards, Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang assault the Wild Boar and Primate. So Gallus is trying to, they're trying to assert themselves as dominant. And ahead of, now Joe Coffey later on will be in that Fatal 4-Way, and that is the match of matches. The Fatal 4-Way is to determine who goes on to face Volta for the NXT UK for the United Kingdom Championship. So that was, yeah, White Wolf. It's Wild Boar is the scary one. He's terrifying on all fronts. So he scared me. Then we had Kaylee Ray taking on Casey Owens. I really like Casey Owens, but I really like Kaylee Ray. I remember Kaylee Ray from the Mae Young Classic, and I thought she would go further in the Mae Young Classic because she showed so well, but she looked really good in that. I'm glad that she's now getting an opportunity in NXT UK. So Kaylee Ray, she took care of him, and I believe it was under 10 minutes. It was a very quick match. There was nothing really to write home about, you know what I'm saying? So then the Grizzled Young Veterans come out, and they are not pumped because apparently they have to defend their tag team titles at the Download Festival, and they don't want to. I don't know who they have to. They didn't really tell you who. Yeah, they didn't tell you who they're defending it against. They just have to defend it. They said with crappy music behind them like Slipknot. Don't you mess with Slipknot, okay? Them guys are pretty goddamn good. And I think Bray Wyatt just joined them, so beware of what you're talking about, alright? So that Grizzled Young Veterans come out, they call Welks. I believe that's probably a rude thing to call Scottish people, but they did. Nigel didn't look pumped about it, so I don't know if Welks was offensive to Nigel, but that happened. Then we come down to the Fatal 4-Way. Winner meets Volter. Okay. So, yeah, the winner will get Walter in a one-on-one for the United Kingdom Championship. We have Travis Banks, Dave Mastiff, Joe Coffey, and Jordan Devlin. My two favorites, I thought out this. I thought it was going to either be Joe Coffey or Jordan Devlin. They had the two high flyers, and two of the big guys. And we're back. So this Fatal 4-Way match went over 20 minutes, because there really wasn't anything in between as far as promos or anything on NXT UK. So this went about 20-25 minutes. It was a surprise to me. I thought Jordan Devlin was taking the win. If not, it was going to be Joe Coffey. Those are my two choices, because I guess they can't really give you Walter versus Mastiff yet, because that's not going to be a big boy knockout. So it turns out that Jordan Devlin was getting beat up all match long. Like, they were just, the big boys were dropping on him. He was getting kicked in the face. He took a lot of heat. So at the end there, Jordan Devlin doesn't know, and here comes Travis Banks out left field. He hits him with a slice of heaven off the ropes, getting him right in the mouth, and he follows that up with the Kiwi Crusher and picks up the biggest victory of his career. So Travis Banks is your #1 contender for the United Kingdom Championship, and will face Walter in the future. So NXT UK is just starting to heat up now, because August 31st will be the NXT UK Takeover event from Cardiff. I'm looking that's going to be exciting. You know, you're going to get like a Tony Storm match and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of good coming out in the next month or two, wrestling wise, outside of this turd shoot that's happening at 2 o'clock on Friday, when 92-year-old Goldberg meets 270-year-old Undertaker in the ring, and not for like an autograph session. So yeah, guys, I mean, August 31st is gonna be a big day. We got All Out and we have this. So I hope you enjoyed the review. It was short, but there really wasn't much to anything today. So join me next week, and join us next week. As if you're going to be on the channel, please click subscribe and click the bell for notifications. We have a lot going on the channel right now, so it's pretty important that you guys join us. You know what I'm saying? Join us on this journey. So we have our regular weekly review of Raw and SmackDown, our KBW regular episode podcast. Mr. Disrespectful does, he's doing videos for the WWE Universe mobile game. If you go on there, we do have one. It's a KB WrestleCast is our club name. I believe as of earlier today, we had 2 openings left in our club. If you want to join to help us try to get better performers. I try to pick more NXT people, obviously. I'm building up Pete Dunne right now, like a madman. But come join us. We have that. I have my NXT reviews. So White Peppa, me, will do your NXT review every Thursday night. Usually either Thursday or Friday that will go up. The NXT review, or the Raw and SmackDown review, usually will go up Thursday morning, depending. And then we had just our takeover review was this week. So there's an extra video. So I believe it's 3 videos that came out this week so far. So we had three videos on the channel this week. We're trying to pump content at you guys, and we just that's on our YouTube. Also subscribe to us on Twitter. I live tweet Raw, and then I have to record SmackDown because I'm not home. So I record SmackDown and then I try to tweet it as I watch when I get home. So it's usually like the replay time, like after 10:30. I do that. So I usually live tweet both. So if you go to KB, I believe it's KBcast on Twitter, and follow us. I'm very responsive on there. I like to interact with the wrestling fans, the wrestling community. This is fun. You know, it's fun stuff to, you know, we can laugh at the bad stuff and cheer about the good stuff. So Twitter, KBcast. Look for KB WrestleCast on Instagram. I just started it. we just began it right now, so I think there's only about 3 or 4 posts, but you're gonna start to see that fill up a little bit more, and hopefully that gets some attention and we start doing some big things. So guys, thank you again for listening, watching my review on NXT and NXT UK, and until next time. Now we usually do the bidding of adieux and all that other stuff we do, but I'm different because this is NXT review, so I'm doing things a little bit differently. And in honor of Adam Cole winning the NXT Championship, we're gonna kind of hit you with a little bit of Undisputed Era instead. So I'm going to have to say to you guys, this is White Peppa, baby, and this was your review.